morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's a beautiful day in San Francisco. My name is Joaquin Torres, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, and I also lead the Mayor's Invest in Neighborhoods initiative. And Invest in Neighborhoods is really the framework through which we, as an office, coordinate strategically throughout our neighborhood commercial districts the incredible resources that both our private and public partners bring to bear. And it also includes realizing the objectives of something so important to all of us here in the city, which is the central market economic strategy. And one of those objectives is ensuring that central market is a creative center here in our city. And all of us here are here today to ensure that we're celebrating a very important milestone, a very important next step in what will be a long and continuing narrative of building up diversity and creativity in our city. And so, to kick us off, to talk about this achievement, is our mayor, Ed Lee.
Thank you. Thank you, Joaquin. And I want to thank Joaquin because he's working very hard, and our OEWD team, Amy Cohn and others, that scour these blocks all the time, working with all the residents and the artists and the small businesses, have been wonderful. As many of you know, I have worked very hard on the revitalization of Market Street. And we have shown some success, but we've always said, and I want to emphasize this, you've heard me say this before, the artists in the community led this effort to begin with. They took a lot of risks. And so we've never allowed them to escape from our mind about the future of mid-market, that they've always been in our sights. Whether they're living here or practicing their art here, performing here, we want to do everything we can to make sure that they are staying here. Yes, rents are rising because of our success, but we also want to say, in light of that, in light of values going up, we can still take care of everybody. This is a city that should be the city and will be the city for the 100%. And so today we're announcing one special effort. Thanks to the Kenneth Rainin Foundation, wonderful organization, and their collaboration with the Northern California Community Loan Fund, working with our offices, working with the community-based nonprofits, we have established something that's been in the works for a number of months, but it's now established well, and it's called C.A.S.T, and that is Community Arts Stabilization Trust. C.A.S.T, in short, for theater cast. And everybody gets that, except for those like me who are new to this. I want to be part of that C.A.S.T because they are taking a concept that I think you'll see repeated in other sectors, and that is when you're subject and you're victim to property ownership, you got to change that around. So for the arts, Kenneth Rainin and the Community Loan Fund and all of us working together, we decided, let us try to turn that paradigm around and become property owners ourselves for the benefit of the community arts programs that we have. That's the concept here under C.A.S.T. And rather than just announce it, we're actually announcing the ownership of at least 2 buildings they've already taken control over, and that is at 80 Turk Street, which is formerly called the Dollhouse. The ownership is now under C.A.S.T, as well as the Luggage Store under C.A.S.T ownership. And isn't that a wonderful thing? To have control over your own destiny. And it's kind of like somebody owning their first home. They've begun to own their own destiny. And that's a small part, but a very important part of the whole puzzle of keeping everybody on Market Street engaged in kind of participating in this economic success. So I want to say thank you to the Rainin Fund, thank you to Northern California Community Loan Program, thank you to Luggage Store, to all the tenants that are involved in these buildings, because right now it's not just the Luggage Store, it's Hospitality House, the arts program that even the tech companies decided they would donate. And we got a good donation from Digital Arts just earlier this week to support the Hospitality House. We've got the tenants and who represent all the artists, a good portion of them who want to be here, stay here, continue practicing and performing their arts for all of us. Arts are part of the success of San Francisco. They're part of the culture. They're part of the international flavor of San Francisco. And so we're going to continue doing everything we can to support their existence, their survival, and ultimately their success. When we drafted the Market Street economic strategy, we had arts right there focused. Now we've got some answers. Now we've got some models to exhibit out there. And so these first two successful building ownerships are just the beginning. When the arts programs establish themselves as part owner of these wonderful buildings that we have here, they're going to also need the continued support of our city, of our residents, of the tech workers up and down, of the small businesses up and down Market Street, not only to be attentive to their performances, but to support them on an ongoing basis. So we want to exhibit that aspect of it as well. Arts is always about community interaction and support. And I want to thank Grants for the Arts. I want to thank the Arts Commission for being great partnerships with this, because they are also part of the effort that the city put in. And I want to thank Supervisor Kim as well. She's been a strong, strong leader from day one to make sure that we took care of existing assets and people who are already here. We often talk about people are already here. We got to build upon them as the current assets before we invite new people to come. But as we invite new people to come, they also have to experience their contributions to the existing culture of this city and of this wonderful Market Street. You know, you're already seeing the holiday lights appear on Market Street. I think when we have towards this holiday, what we're doing for residents at 1047 and 1069 to keep them here, the small businesses we're inviting here, the arts programs that we're here today, we're going to have a lot to celebrate on these holidays, because there'll be the same people that have been here forever that want to still be part of the success of San Francisco. So I want to thank everybody working together. I know we're going to go through a lot of the specifics here for you, but this is a wonderful day to announce the existence of C.A.S.T. and the thanks to the Rainin Foundation and Community Loan Fund. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And when you talk about leadership, it's always very important to have the local leadership of your supervisor and the incredible advocacy and teaching that you do for all of us to ensure that we're serving the community to the best of our abilities. And so next up, we have a guitarist and a very strong supervisor, Jane Kim.
Bass guitarist. My first show was 2 blocks away at Bindlestiff Studios for Pinoy's Pop many years ago. But speaking about the arts, actually in the year 2000, I co-founded an arts venue space here in San Francisco. It wasn't here in the South of Market, but I remember the challenges of having a performance arts venue space. We moved 3 times in 6 years, and moving our audiences, generating the audience, building that support for our artists, and finding spaces to support them was incredibly challenging during that time. We were eventually able to share spaces with other arts organizations throughout the mission, like Gallery de la Raza and Kearny Street Workshop. But I do remember how important permanent physical space was. And that's why it's so exciting to be here 13 years later to celebrate the acquisition of 2 very important buildings here in the Tenderloin and Mid-Market for 2 organizations that have held strong in the Mid-Market area for a long time, and that's Luggage Store Gallery and CounterPULSE. And I just want to recognize Darrell Smith here from Luggage Store Gallery and Jessica Robinson-Love from CounterPULSE. It's so fun to be able to kind of switch roles as our arts communities grows. I remember going to Intersection for the Arts back in the day when I was in the mission, and now they're here a block away at 5M. And Deborah Cullinan is now the director of Yerba Buena Center for the Arts. And as the arts community continues to evolve, it evolves in this environment that we're in right now, as we are welcoming different organizations and different businesses and growing the job sector here in Mid-Market. You know, in 2011, when the mayor held a press conference across the street at Show Dogs, we had the highest commercial vacancy rate on Market Street in the city, the highest commercial vacancy rate in the city. And what we're seeing now in Mid-Market is that everyone wants to be here now. But of course, what that means when everyone wants to be here is, what does that mean for the arts community that has always been here but stayed here because of the affordable rents? This is one of the initiatives that's going to keep artists and arts organizations here. And it was amazing to work again with the California Community Loan Fund and the Mayor's Office of Economic Development to make this a reality. Over the past couple of years, with hard work, through procuring money, through working closely with arts organizations and property owners, we were able to procure these 2 sites to ensure that arts would remain here permanently. And this is a huge effort. It's not just the elected officials that get to stand here at the press conferences, but this is an amazing community that holds Mid-Market together. And whether it is the North of Market Community Benefits District, over here, whether it's the Central City SRO Collaborative that continues to advocate for public safety and pedestrian safety, the arts organizations that I've already mentioned, all the folks here that work to make this community viable, dynamic, and exciting, and diverse. That is the ultimate challenge here. We are trying to revitalize an area and still maintain diversity. And it's a huge effort. It is not easy. No one's going to lie up here and say it's going to happen smoothly. There's going to be a lot of challenges to it. But what's exciting is that everyone here, from the mayor's office and the mayor himself on down, is committed to making that the reality here on Market Street. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. And to talk about the incredible entity that's been created that's allowed us to be here and to celebrate this event today is the president of C.A.S.T, the Community Arts Stabilization Trust, and also a board member of the Radium Foundation, and that is Eric Rodenbach.
Hi. I'd like to thank Mayor Ed Lee and Supervisor Jane Kim for their support. It's incredible to be standing up here with them. Thank you. We appreciate the commitment the city's shown for C.A.S.T and for the arts community. In particular, this project is really personal for me. I lived in the Tenderloin for 10 years, and I have a really special appreciation and warm spot in my heart for this neighborhood. This used to be the coolest neighborhood in San Francisco, and it's exciting to see it be back on that track. As the mayor said, arts organizations help promote creativity, community participation, and economic development and neighborhood stability. They're also the 4th largest growth industry in San Francisco. Not all of this is altruistic. We're doing this because we think it's a good investment for the city. And the arts are also an important educational resource, and they help us transcend barriers and build connections across all these diverse communities. These economic dynamics that we're seeing in San Francisco are as the mayor and the supervisor said, seriously impacting the arts, and we have an urgent need for an innovative and permanent solution to address the stabilization, to address the displacement of arts organization, and that's why we created C.A.S.T. We collaborate with local government agencies, businesses, civic leaders, and funders and artists to purchase and lease spaces for arts organizations. And we also provide those arts organizations with technical assistance to develop and expand their capacity to fundraise and manage their facilities effectively and purchase their own facilities back. We're developing this with the Kenneth Brainin Foundation and the Northern California Loan Fund. We fund performing arts in San Francisco. And the foundation learned through its work with many of the city's key artists that the need for space to perform in is a huge challenge. It doesn't matter how much funding we could provide to an arts organization for them to do their work. If they don't have performance space, there's no place to do performance art. So therefore, we're providing $5 million in seed funding over 5 years to C.A.S.T. Northern California Community Loan Foundation has extensive experience working with arts organizations, and they're the ones that helped us identify these 2 key properties that we could start working on right away so that we could stop talking about it and start doing something about it. They're also helping us understand the economy of buying real estate in this neighborhood, including access to new market tax credits and other incentives that add 20% cash to the investments that we're making in the neighborhood. If you want to know about this, talk to me. If you invest $100 in the neighborhood, you get $20 back. It's incredible. The San Francisco Foundation is also helping us, and we look forward to working with them in the future in concert with the mayor's central market economic strategy. So our first major undertaking, I say our first, includes 2 pilot projects in this district, focusing on supporting CounterPULSE and the Luggage Store Gallery. As a board member of the Ken Reagan Foundation, over the years, we've awarded these project support grants, so we'll give an organization some money to put on a project. Shelley Trott is leading the effort, my co-board member, to engage in multi-year capacity building grants, so that an organization, we can help them create their own capacity so that they don't have to continuously rely on us. And this in some ways was the, what we heard over and over again, that what they needed most to be successful was to secure affordable space. So this is kind of the next step in a multi-year effort that we've been working with. So we are proud, so proud to announce our support for these 2 projects. With your help, we want to take this further. We need foundations, businesses, individuals, and investors to help us expand our work. We know we can and must play an important role in sustaining this vibrant hub. We honor the diversity of thought and life experience and expertise that is key to this neighborhood and to the mayor's vision for this neighborhood. And we invite you to join us and find out more at cast.sf.org. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now to the beneficiaries of this incredible outcome. First up, we stand in front of the luggage store today, and so I'd like to make sure that we introduce and welcome to the microphone the co-founder and director of the luggage store, Darrell Smith.
Thank you, Mayor Lee, Supervisor Kim, for the focus that you're bringing to this project. I just want to thank all of you for being here. Looking out at you, I see the diversity that is reflective of what mid-market, Tenderloin, South of Market all encompasses. I want to kind of I wanted to bring your attention to this structure that local artist Dustin Fosnot made. It's kind of a scrappy, recycled construction of the buildings that are to symbolize our home, our continuation in to be able in mid-market and to be able to do what we do, which is to support artists and their formative early careers, and to also to support the notion of affordable living for those artists. There are several hundred artists that moved here, began migrating to Central Market during the time of the .com that forced artists out of the Mission, ironically. This was where they came. They came to mid-market. We ourselves moved here in 1991. We had a beneficiary, Mr. Einsprow, who rented our top floor space for $600 a month. And you know, purchasing a building wasn't even like an idea or an endeavor. Today, with the conditions that are in play now, it's as been expressed by both the mayor and the supervisor, very vital that we protect through acquisition buildings, not only buildings for the arts organizations, but for the people, the artists and the residents who live here. And I just, that's what I want to say, actually. When we moved here, my mentor was Richard Livingston and Exit Theater. And there were only several different arts groups, the Community Arts program being one, of Hospitality House on Leavenworth. I mean, on one hand, I could count the active arts groups here. And today, there's over 30 different arts groups throughout Central Market. And as I said, and the hundreds of artists who also are here that make work, are struggling to live and be able to make work in their domiciles. And I look forward to the language that you both expressed very well for that kind of support. The way that we can partner with the intelligent, you know, the IT community. I think they're here, they were attracted to the language of this as an emerging arts district. It's real. And I think that it's on us to sort of to pave that way for their integration and support and securing sustainability of arts in the Tenderloin and Central Market. So thank you very much. And I want to give a big thank. I want to do a couple of big thanks, and one is to my friend Elvin Padilla, who showed up here 3 years ago, and I have to say that he's been an inspiration to me, and that I feel that all of us are together, all of us have touched hands with Elvin and the Tenderloin Economic Development Project. So it's all of us working together, the nonprofit housing groups, the arts community, that we should be, as our show upstairs is titled, The Whole Pie. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Darrell. And before we bring up our final speaker and final beneficiary of C.A.S.T, I wanted to make sure that, speaking of the whole pie, it takes a whole community of people to make sure that the organizations that they serve are functioning at the community level. Of course, I want to thank Amy Cohen from our staff at the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, and Ellen Parker, who did such an incredible job on the ground. Thank you so much. To the San Francisco Police Department, especially to Captain Redmond and Captain Chernus, for all the extraordinary work that they do. To Lori Laser from the Luggage Store. I know that none of this would be possible, Darrell, without your partner, Lori, at work, and Jackie Jenks especially, from the Hospitality House and Director, to ensure the programming is available here for folks who want it and need it. To Mary Roger from the Northern California Community Loan Fund for your incredible leadership. And of course, to the godmother of the arts from the Grants for the Arts, Carrie Schulman, and the San Francisco Arts Commission, Tom DeCaney. And now, now our final speaker, I would like to make sure that we give a special shout out to you, Jessica Robinson Love, who handles such an incredible, diverse spectrum of responsibilities at CounterPULSE, being both the executive and the artistic director of CounterPULSE, which will have its new home at 80 Turk Street. And so, Jessica, thank you.
Thank you so much to Mayor Lee, Supervisor Kim, and the amazing folks at C.A.S.T, NCCLF, and OEWD. It's an exciting thing, a radical thing, really, for a grassroots arts organization to get out of the rental market and have a permanent home in San Francisco. For more than 20 years, CounterPULSE has been building a movement of risk-taking art that shatters assumptions and builds community. What that means in practical terms is that we find dance and theater artists whose voice hasn't been heard yet. We give them support and freedom to create new work, and then we partner with grassroots nonprofits to bring that work to the community. Now, we're only moving 5 blocks, but those 5 blocks will bring us into the heart of the city and give us the chance to partner with the Tenderloin's rich fabric of arts and social service organizations. We're particularly excited to be on this journey with the Luggage Store, one of my favorite San Francisco arts institutions. Now, CounterPULSE is going to be kicking off a major fundraising campaign to renovate and eventually purchase our new home. We're looking for leaders in that campaign to share our belief in the future of community and the power of art. And I recognize that many of those leaders are here today. I see colleagues from the 950 Project who will be our neighbors and arts partners. I see organizations and collaborators from the Tenderloin community, our sisters and brothers in social service and social justice. I see building owners who have the ethics and foresight to invest in our community. I see folks from the tech companies who are seeking to positively impact their new neighborhood. And of course, Rainin and San Francisco Foundation, who have been working on this issue for a very long time. So thank you all. As the other speakers said, this is a milestone and a time for celebration, but it's also just the beginning. We have a lot of work to be done. We have work to do as a community because CounterPULSE and the Luggage Store are only 2 organizations among many nonprofits who need stability right now. And our work will not be done unless we make sure that the artists who are the heart and soul of our organizations can afford to stay in the city. It's been quite a road to get to this moment, and I want to thank the CounterPULSE staff who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes, particularly our program director, Julie Phelps. Yeah. And our board, who have each made a deep personal commitment to this project. Without their support, I wouldn't even consider doing this. We are only one organization, but we're part of a larger ecosystem. And that's why we've been in conversation over the last 9 months with neighborhood residents, businesses, and social service networks to think about how can we leverage the transformation of one building on Turk Street as a benefit to the entire community. We're building a theater, rehearsal studios, offices, and a cafe, and we ask for your help with the physical transformation. But more than that, we invite you to be part of dreaming the larger transformation that those rooms will make possible. Because one thing that's not changing after 2 decades at CounterPULSE is that we are a space for possibility. We have a sign-up sheet going around because we want to invite you. We couldn't do it here today, but we want to invite you to our new home at 80 Turk to see the inside of it and to talk with you about your visions for CounterPULSE and for the neighborhood, because we're all in this together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jessica. I also just wanted to make sure we acknowledge Jennifer Rainin from the Rainin Foundation as a president, as well as the Planning Commission president, Ronnie Fung, who also joined us today. And in addition to the tools and resources that we have available throughout the city, specifically here in Central Market in the Tenderloin, we wanted to make sure that we were announcing our technical assistance program to ensure that those organizations that want to be here can be here. They have the education and the resources and the tools available to do them. To do that work here in Central Market in the Tenderloin. So for more information about that, please do visit our website at oewd.org, and you can also follow us at Twitter at InvestSF. So thank you all very much for coming. And congratulations.